Hey, bro. Okay, well, first of all, like, let's just get over the fact. It's Movember, I'm doing kind of well, but I'm not doing well. I look homeless anyway. It's not the point. Here we go. The purpose of making this YouTube channel wasn't to, like, make money and do whatever. Not that you make money off of YouTube in the first 3 years. The purpose of this YouTube channel was to just, like, make kids laugh, take them out of their real life and help kids. Like, my whole purpose in life is to teach kids. I realized that at the place I am in my life that I need to be more open on YouTube. I'm gonna do it in a way where I share what I've learned. I think a lot of people, when they experience trauma, people tell them that they need to get over their trauma and that they need to work and find steps to, like, get past their trauma or things that have happened, or just whenever you're sad, like, find ways to be happy, but, like, no one tells you how. So I'm just gonna share, like, the tools that I have used and that I do still to this day use to, like, better myself and recover. Trauma is such a stupid word. Like, I understand, like, it's so dumb. There's just, like, not another word for it other than, like, past experiences. I'm not going to share things that have happened to me. The thing is that if I talk about things that have happened to me, I may have been able to move on, but the people in my life that's also affected may not be ready to tell their stories. It doesn't end with me. What I'm doing today is giving you tips and what you can do to make your life more positive. This is a literal guide on what I've done and for you to just try. We have to take ownership of our emotions. We experience things. Oh, the amount of times I'm gonna say experience in this video and trauma is causing me trauma. We experience things and we blame other people and we blame people for the things that we experience. However, our emotions, like, we own. Everybody's different. Obviously, like, I actually didn't get help with my situations, and I think I just had gotten to a point where I had decided enough is enough. I need to do something, and I was able to be strong enough for myself. And not everybody is, because obviously everybody's different. So some people need to just reach out and get help. So I'm one of those people who's here to help you. And you just don't need to feel bad for not being able to help yourself. Not everybody's wired to help themselves. We all just need to be wired to get help. And this isn't really just for trauma. You would just have a day where you feel sad. You have a day where you feel depressed, and it's just one day and you don't normally feel like this. But, like, these are things that I do when I'm having a good day. I still do this just to reinforce my good day. I went into teaching kids and I went into YouTube with the idea of just reaching out to kids. I've had so many adults, which is so weird because I guess that's just not, like, what I did this for. Reach out to me in support and how I've helped adults. Like, and I think that's pretty wild. Yes, my main focus is helping kids and stuff like that, but I think through these messages I can also reach other people. And I feel weird saying that because I'm like, who am I? I'm just this Trisha from, like, the middle of nowhere. So let me basically just, like, walk you through how I approach my days. I don't have to go to work until, like, 3:30, but I wake up at 7:45. And I know this is different for kids who go to school or people who work a 9-to-5 job. Like, I don't work till the evening, but I find that waking up and doing things that benefit my life and my future and my goals and things like that give me a purpose rather than waking up and just going to work. So even if you have to wake up and go to school, I would honestly encourage you to, like, try some of these things I'm going to talk about. You don't need to wake up any earlier to do them. Every morning and every night, I read a statement to myself, which we will get to. Relax, like, we're not there yet. Don't skip ahead, like, of the lesson, like, we're not there yet, like, we'll get there, okay, just, like, relax. Before I get out of bed, I've read that statement, and then I wake up and I make my coffee, and I put on a podcast of this sermon, Pastor Sarah Roberts, shout out girl. Like, I would constantly try a new one, and there just wasn't one I connected with, but I tried one that I connected with, which is, like, a lot of people have the same information, but not everyone, like, clicks with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's always that one teacher, that one person, or that one mentor that, like, just feeds you that information a little differently, even though it's the same information. So I play with Steven for a little bit after I had my coffee, and then I read a book. Right now, the book is on changing your mindset in terms of, like, business and growth and things like that. So it talks about, like, who you are as a human being, and then it also talks about, like, how to create wealth. And wealth doesn't necessarily mean money, but it does. That's just the world we live in. I'm not trying to put emphasis on money and finances, but, like, to have financial freedom allows me freedom to do other things that I love. So right now I'm reading Think and Grow Rich. Honestly, it has changed my life. I'm not trying to, like, preach this book or anything, but, like, 2 chapters in, I was like, well, I'm starting the business I've been waiting to start. So I allot 1 hour of reading. I don't want to read more because I feel like I cannot retain any more than that, so I just know my limit. But I do believe in, when you are retaining information, keep it information that is, again, conducive to your growth, like my last video. I do, like, watch Kardashians and I watch Riverdale and I watch YouTube videos, but just watched a lot less of those things, and now in the morning I do things that are going to set the tone for my day. So it's like listening to that hour-long podcast about, you know, faith and whatever and those lessons, and I don't want to get into religion because it's personal for everyone. That, and then reading this book, which is about like, you know, self-growth, but like growing wealth, growing a business, and I aspire to have a business and a big business, so that's just something that's like for me. You can read whatever's for you. I start my actual work, and I consider editing work, though I don't get paid for YouTube. Right now I just do it because I want to give you information and I want to take you out of your life and, you know, be a part of mine. So around 10 a.m. I usually just start editing. I like to allot half-hour to hour time slots for things every single day, because then I get to move on. I also have ADD, so it's hard for me to like stay on one thing for a long period of time. So it allows me to like focus on one thing and then move on. After that hour of editing, I allot another hour or a little more, depending on what it is, towards focusing on what I intend to create as a business, which I cannot get into right now, and I will get into it eventually when it comes into fruition, but I can't tell you right now because I don't want to tell you things that aren't happening right now. Like, I'm working on it and like it's gonna happen because like that's just gonna happen and that's what it is. But I can't tell you what I'm doing yet because it hasn't happened. I've done like my mental health right when I wake up. I have the like, you know, preparing for my business, and then I take the hour break and I work on editing, which is, you know, again, business related, but also like that's like self-help for this. Honestly, making these videos is self-help for me. I don't know. I don't need a vacation from my life. I genuinely love my life, but it's just like, it's just another part of my life. And it also allows me to like get in contact with you and all this stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. This was supposed to be a short video and I'm rambling. I feel like my entire morning before I go to work is like building my future. Well, like Saturdays, I actually work at 9 a.m. So I don't get to start my day the same. Or if there's just something that goes on and I can't start my day the same, I've noticed a difference in how I approach my day. I found a routine that sets me up to have amazing days. And on the days where I can't really, it's like I have to wake up, get ready and go, I'll just wake up, put on a podcast. And if the podcast may be about business, the podcast may be about, you know, faith, within only having a half an hour to an hour will still set the tone for my day on a positive note. Something you can do is create a playlist. Like I've created playlists that of happy music that amps me up or like gets me excited, music that I just enjoy. And like I'm getting ready, I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, you know, I've definitely like, you know, hated the way I've looked, hated the way I've felt. For me, which this is a totally different video, like how I've gained confidence, I was definitely not. Like I was not for a huge period of time. And that was taken from me, from somebody that I was with. I put too much self-confidence in someone and they took it away. But then I found it again in someone else that I dated. Like I was very lucky that I dated someone who did that for me, and then allowed me to run with it, and then I developed my own self-confidence from that. But if you have someone in your life that constantly tells you you're beautiful and tells you like these things, I know it's not, you're not supposed to find it in someone else or place it in someone else, but if you don't have it in yourself, like write down the things that those people say to you and then read them back to you. And just remember that like someone feels that way about you and you can't feel it about yourself. I feel like I'm rambling and I'm making no sense. Okay, so this is the biggest asset to like changing your life. You have to create a statement. So I say this statement when I wake up and when I go to bed every single day. And at first it's like really awkward and you're like,
I don't believe it and whatever.
There's something to be said about auto-suggestion, which is just like repeating something to yourself until you believe it. So this is how you're gonna create this statement, okay? Just do it. You're gonna do it, just do it. Like I'm telling you to do it, so you're just gonna do it, okay? So you're gonna write who you are. Say your full name. Like for example, I am Nicholas James Eichenberger. You're gonna pick 3 things, for example, like, I just don't want to say mine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here to say that because it's personal to me. Beautiful, confident, and in control. Not controlling, in control. Do not confuse the two. You are going to follow that with, I am the creator of my own path. Also, my thing about paths is like, do not wait for your path to clear. Like, I think a lot of people are like, my life is just a bunch of like mess and stress and BS and like, I need my path to clear. Like, I just need you to remember that paths are not created by waiting. Like paths are created by walking. Like the reason a path exists is because like someone created it. If you're waiting for your path to clear, just clear it yourself. And this is how you can do so. And after you say that, it is nobody's responsibility to make me happy and create my own path. I am responsible for my emotions and how I react to my emotions. And then you're going to say, I am working every day to create a better me than I was the day before. And you're going to finish it with, I am going to conquer today. You could say that one in the morning. And then before bed, I would just leave it at like, tomorrow I'm going to create a better me than I was today. It's small. It's not a huge statement, but it's so powerful. Words of affirmation are hard because like people will tell you,
I want you to look in the mirror and say 3 nice things about yourself.
it's so awkward. And so we're not all there yet. Like that's really hard to do when you don't love yourself or love the situation you're in, or just when you're unhappy. It's not awkward. You're not looking in the mirror being like,
Blah, 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 blah.
you say it over and over again every single day until you memorize it. No matter what time of day you read this, like you are reading something positive that you took the time to write, and that it means something to you. Just read it whenever. Do you know what I mean? But I really do believe that reading it, and you're going to. So that's what you're gonna do. So just so you know, like you're gonna do this. You're gonna read it when you wake up and read it when you go to bed. Okay? That's just too bad. That's what you're gonna do. I didn't ask for you to do it. You're gonna do it. I think it's so important to understand your strengths and understand that that's not your only strength, and that you need to work on creating new strengths. People are always like, but.
I have this, but I wish I had this.
No. Like, shut up. Don't say that. No. You need to say, and I don't care. Again, I'm saying this is what you're gonna say. You're just gonna do this, and like it's gonna change your life, I promise. And like it's gonna be awkward at first, but you're just gonna do this, okay? Turn your like sentence structure into, I have this, or I am doing this, but I am working on this. Okay, like I have students who I'm like, okay, you have legs, you have technique, you have this, you have movement quality, whatever. And then they'll repeat back to me like,
Oh, but I wish I had this.
stop. No, shh. No, you have to say, I have this and I am working on this. To just talk about your problems is not fixing your problem. To talk about your problems and finding ways to fix it, that's fixing. So like, be aware of when you are venting and when you are actively trying to fix a problem. I also need you to understand that like, you're not allowed to be exhausted or feel exhausted about what's going on in your life until you fix it. For dancers, like I'll equate it to like cleaning choreography. Sometimes you hate us because we're like so meticulous down to like your eyelash. We're like, what is facing what? What's this? And we're so picky with cleaning. I'm that meticulous in details in my choreography. I need to be that meticulous about the my mental health and things in my life. I think you need to be more attracted to what's good for you. People aren't stupid. You know when something is good or bad for you. Like my last video was about assessing people. Like this is now about assessing you. What is it teaching you? What are you learning? Are you getting value from it? And start to be very picky about the things that you do in your life and keep in your life. So this is the one that's actually been the hardest for me. And recently I've actually opened up to this a lot more. I was able to work on the issues that I had by myself. But understanding that not everybody is equipped to handle their own mental health and handle their own issues. You just look at people and be like, well, you're an adult, get over it. You need to learn how to manage your emotions. Like, it's just like not that easy. And the same goes for yourself. You have to understand that like things may not be clear to you yet. You may need to seek therapy, and that's okay. I've had such strong opinions on therapy until my boyfriend ended up going to therapy. And I think it really opened my eyes on what people need. A lot of people are embarrassed to go to therapy. I wasn't open to it, and I've been very judgmental of it. And as of recent, I've really realized that like it can be very beneficial. You know those help hotlines and things like that? I think people are embarrassed to call, but like they're there for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like these are people who are specialized to help you. Your friends and family may not be equipped to help you. So while you are venting and you are asking them for help and you are like, I need someone to help me and fix me, it may not be your parents and it may not be your friends. You may need to seek help in people who specialize in this kind of work. You're not alone. Like there isn't nobody to help you. Speak to somebody who is equipped to help you. And your mental health shouldn't be a burden to you. You know what I mean? Like I think it should be a burden if you go every single day upset and blaming other people. That should feel like a burden. It shouldn't feel like a burden to go out of your way to get help. You should feel proud that you took the steps to actually go do that. Like I can't even tell you, like at first when my boyfriend said he wanted to go to therapy, I didn't agree. And then now I look and he has opened me up to the other side of helping yourself. Because again, I helped myself. So I couldn't understand how people couldn't help themselves. And then now him going into therapy has actually like opened my eyes. And I'm so proud of him for being able to do that for himself. So how I've helped myself. Okay, so I need to be vague, but I will say I have been through some wild things that I see people that I know who have gone through the exact same thing not recover from. And I am very proud of myself that I've been able to come from those things, learn my lessons and whatever. I see now how it affected me growing up. Like I was definitely a bully. I was just not a good child, not a good kid. I was not a good adult. this is the only part I'm gonna get religious, whatever, like the Lord, the universe, whatever you want to call him. Like, I feel like he just has such a funny way of being like,
oh my god, you thought you got over this? Like, well, I'm about to put the exact situation in your life to make you remember, because you obviously didn't learn the lesson.
you know, the sentence like, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, I really think he took the wheel, but I really think he's off-roading sometimes. Like, I'm like,
what are you doing? Like, bro.
These things have come into my life and they were awful. Which is why I'm so passionate about teaching kids and helping kids, because I think as a kid I really needed help, but I didn't ask anyone for help. I can't even believe I'm sharing all of this. Not that I told you anything that happened, but I can't even believe I'm sharing all of this. Yeah, I guess I was just like a really horrible human being. I think everybody who I came into contact with during my like 20 years old to 25 can pretty much tell you that. I definitely bullied people as an adult. I was physically violent. I was just the worst. But then I would like go and teach these kids and I would like treat them like my babies because like they were my peace, and like that's what kept me on a positive note, was teaching kids. Like, I was only saved in those moments because I had to go teach, and I had like a support system that they didn't really know was a support system. When I moved, I decided, like, change your life, get over it, you're moving on, you're figuring it out, you're going through what you went through and you're dealing with it. Yeah, so I think the Lord, the universe, whatever you want to call him, live your life, puts situations in your life to make you learn lessons to help you as an adult. Even as an adult, he puts things in your life to make you learn lessons. And when you do not learn those lessons, he puts them in his back pocket, and he waits for like later, maybe a year later, maybe longer, and then he puts that situation back in your life, and he's like,
okay, so we're gonna take another stab at this.
The angels are like,
okay, let's do it this way.
and then you don't learn the lesson again, and so he has to put it back in your life again because he's like,
Oh my god, you were too stupid to learn that lesson. So like, how are we gonna do this again? So we might have to get creative.
look at your life, look at the negative things that have happened, and then if you haven't really learned your lesson, like the same situation keeps coming back. So you know when people go like, I keep finding myself in the same situation, like, then learn your lesson. God is up there being like,
Hey, stupid, learn your lesson.
and I realized that the things and the traumas, or the things I consider my traumas, were not for me. In going through what I went through, I am now able to help kids who go through similar experiences. I am able to like give so much advice to people. Like, I find that so many people come to me for advice, and I was always like, why? Like, for what? And I realized it's because the people who give the best advice are the people who go through so many things. The people who are the strongest are actually people who have been the weakest. Things I went through, I don't consider like bad. I don't know, like they were so horrible, like horrible, but I wouldn't stop. I hate that too. Like, I wouldn't change what happened to me, but I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be sitting here teaching kids and doing these things. I wouldn't have this video, I wouldn't have YouTube, I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't be able to help people if I didn't go through things like that. I went through all of this stuff so I could make this video. This video wasn't a plan. I didn't plan this video. I have a list of videos that I plan to film. This is not one of them. We went through creating that statement, okay? So this is now the checklist that you can do. Create this checklist on your phone, create it wherever you want, something that you can have with you all the time. So I do think in the age we live in, like a phone will work, just like put it in your notes. But when you have an off day or an off moment, just bust out this list and be like,
yo, what's up list? Like, we need to go through you, we need to check you off, and like, we're gonna be better.
So number one, I want you to create a playlist. I want you to delete your sad playlist. Everybody has music that makes them sad. Delete it. Delete it. Delete the sad playlist. You don't need it. I love Ariana Grande. I love gospel music. You can tell me I don't have time to do all those things that you do to make your life better and make your life happy. What you do have time for is to put in headphones or whatever and listen to music while you brush your teeth. Just listening to music that makes you happy is going to just like change the way you feel. I want you to put that statement in the checklist that we made earlier. I want you to write down people in your life that you are grateful for. I definitely write down my students. I can only have this YouTube channel because I have students who watch me. Like, for the most part, the people who watch me are people I teach. So I'm just in their living room, in their house, in their head, screaming at them all the time. Oh my God. My parents, my boyfriend, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I want you to write down just a couple of things that like you get to do. You have to stop saying I have to, and you start to say I get to. You don't want to go to school? How about you get to go to school? You get to have an education. You get to have something that a lot of people do not get to have. And we live in Canada or the States, wherever you live. Like, for us, education, like, we get to have that, and it's not that it's free, but it's free. Like, you're just so extremely lucky to get to go to school. And I definitely took advantage of school. Okay, I'm going on another tangent and I just don't need to do this. Anyway, you get to go to school. I get to wake up in a home. If you're watching this on a computer or a phone, you get a phone. I get to wake up with my dog. Do you know what I mean? And that makes me so happy every single day. I used to get to wake up with my parents. I get to have dinner with my family, and I didn't get that all the time. When I moved away, I didn't have that. I get to go to work, and it's a job that I love. Like, and even if you don't love your job, you get to go to work. There are a lot of people who aren't employed. I actually have students who say, like, I keep putting out resumes and no one will employ me. Like, you do not have to do anything. You get to do things. Stop looking at your life and the things that are happening in your life as burdens and start to look at them as blessings. Like, I have to go to the doctor. We are Canadian. We get free healthcare. Like, we get to go to the doctor. Like, we get to do these things. It's just like, I feel like we just live in a time where everything is just such an inconvenience, and like, you just don't understand how lucky you are. And I didn't understand either. So I'm saying this in a way that's like, I didn't get it until recently. So I'm just sharing this with you because now I get it. So I'm just sharing where I am in my life right now. That's what I want you to create, that list, okay? When you exit this video and you're done with this video, make that list. Every day, auto-suggestion, repeat it to yourself, read the statement. I literally don't care, read it. If you are doing nothing to change your life, please do something to change your life. Honestly, even if you feel like your life is great, do something to change your life, like make a change, do something to be better. I guess I don't really share that side a lot. Like I'm always obnoxiously myself. But I think it's time that every once in a while on this here YouTube that I try to share how to help. And I know it may seem so hard to like try, but I need you to try. And then I need you to try again. And then I need you to try once more. And if that doesn't work, try differently. And then try again tomorrow. And if that doesn't work, try and ask for help. Okay, just like try until you get it done. And if you don't get it done and we don't help ourselves and we don't fix ourselves, look at where you are right now. Is this what you want for the rest of your life? Are you content with this feeling for the rest of your life? And I know not everybody who's watching this is going to have like some turmoil or be upset, but like what I'm saying is like we all have a bad day. This isn't just about trauma. This is like, you might wake up and just have a bad day. These are just things you can do to better enhance your life. Your life may be fine, but you want it to be great. Like I'm just at a position right now in my life where my life is phenomenal. And it's wild because I don't have the things that I dream of yet. I am so extremely lucky, and 2 years ago I wasn't this lucky. 2 months ago I wasn't this lucky. What I've been able to do, and I just wish I could share it with you, but I can't share it with you yet because I'm just not done creating what I'm creating yet. Waking up and saying these affirmations and saying these things in just a different way has helped. If you've done nothing to make a change, I just want you to like, just try this, honestly. And I don't care how young you are or how old you are. Just do something. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've rambled this whole video. My point was just to get across like the tools, and here we are. But I've been filming for like over an hour now, and I don't even know what's gonna make it in this video. I am proud of myself, and I think you need to be in a position where you can say you're proud of yourself. The reason this video exists today is because in the last week, the amount of students that I've had, the amount of friends that I've had, and people come to me with problems and things has definitely proven to me that this video needed to happen. And I feel like everyone's gonna feel like I made this video because of them, and it's not because of one individual person, it's because of all of you. And I feel like there's so many more of you, so this is my way of giving the advice that I gave to those people in those situations. I don't know if that makes sense. Ew, I hate that I'm saying this, but like literally I love all of you. Ugh. Are you puking? I'm puking. It's been almost a year that I've been on YouTube, and I so bizarre. I feel like I started last week, but I wouldn't be able to do this. Not that I wouldn't be able to do this because I'm not getting paid. I don't know. It's like, what gives me the drive to do this? I just want to share. Thank you for supporting, and like the people who shared my videos, like shout out to you. The likes, the comments, whatever. Like live your life. Thank you for being a part of my life. If you want to get away from your real life, come be a part of mine. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Click the button that is as red as my shirt because like, we're on brand today. Like this video, give it a pity like. What are we pitying today? We are pitying our negative thoughts, our trauma. We are pitying all of those things, and we are saying
Goodbye, we're fixing you, we're helping, we're getting rid of you, we're moving on, we're growing. Okay, so like it's time to grow. Thank you, goodbye.
my Instagram is at actually so ugly. Do I look good? I don't know. I have all this facial hair. I don't feel good. Let me tell you, I don't feel like myself. If there's anything you want me to like film, talk about, whatever, leave it in the comments below. If you want to share your tips on how you've dealt with things, then like leave that in the comments below, message me, I don't care, I'll respond. I'm really bad at responding, but I'll get to you, I'm just really bad at it. If you try these things and they work, like let me know, you know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to help. If you want more tips, let me know. Like I'm just full of wisdom, you know what I mean? I put out new videos every Sunday at noon. Click the bell. There's a notification bell, it'll be like,
ding dong, Nick posted a video.
oh, you should click that because you need to be notified. Okay, that's it, bye. I'm done talking.